We have conservative operatives that have been posting non-stop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it.
To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Man, listen, folks, I'm not going to lie to you. It has been a very tough week for the Karmelo Anthony family and all the Karmelo Anthony supporters. There has been a disturbance in the force caused by Sarah Fields, the reporter that's been covering this thing from the beginning. And it all starts from Dominique Alexander with his ignorant ass. Now, if you guys do recall, Dominique Alexander ran the New Generation Action Network, to which I can't even find the presence of online lately. Kind of odd, you know? But basically, Sarah Fields had revealed to the world that Dominique Alexander was operating without a license to have staff, security. The whole rundown was completely false. He was using random people from his neighborhood, it seemed like, to run an armed security detail on someone who's about to be facing trial. Absolutely outrageous, right? But you see, a lot of people attach themselves to Dominique Alexander on the other side, the folks who supported Karmelo, thinking that he was a serious individual. And this is the problem with a lot of these movements. You have people who genuinely want to help, whether or not it's misguided or not, you know. You have people who genuinely want to help, and you have a con artist like New Generation Action Network, Dominique Alexander, swooping in, right? So it gets even worse for the supporters, because ever since this has been exposed, you have a whole bunch of other supporters trying to backpedal and backtrack and remove him from their memory logs completely, like they don't even know him. And you know Sarah Fields is not going to let that go. We have another big support group of Karmelo Anthony being exposed for something else. I'm telling you, the receipts last forever. But anyway, I want to show you exactly what Dominique Alexander was exposed for, and then I'm going to show you the effects it's having on everybody else. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. So a couple of days ago, Sarah Fields had released some information, some damning information about Dominique Alexander, revealing that everything he was doing was fraudulent, which is what we always assumed, but she came with the receipts. Now remember, Sarah Fields, along with others, did a complaint to DPS. They're the ones who apparently sent out the complaint, and now we're starting to see the big picture after the investigation has ran its course. Let's check out what she posted just to get a reminder. She said, the Anthony family's Gifts and Go description was changed to include quote-unquote security. At the same time, Dominique was providing armed security to the family. Many of you may remember the video of Dominique Alexander with the Next Generation Action Network leading Karmelo with his own security team from the jail to a secured vehicle. The footage below was proudly filmed and posted after Karmelo Anthony was released on bond. Not only has the Next Generation Action Network been found to be operating without a license with a Class A misdemeanor, but one of the individuals on his security team was at a gun threat, who has a history of assault on a family member, unlawful carrying of a weapon, and drug possession. He can be seen in the video armed with a weapon. When I originally exposed them, the Next Generation Action Network removed this photo from the website. So basically, overall, to all the people who supported, to all the people who were, sending money to the Gifts and Go, trying to get the family on their feet, you were probably paying Dominique Alexander and all his felon friends. Just saying. You see how the allocation of funds can really go anywhere and you can't see where that's going. And, all they have to do is just, let's edit the Gifts and Go. We need some more money for security purposes. Man, he was cashing out, being a scam artist. Honestly, you have to give him a little clap because holy shit, bro, you had No, you had no prior knowledge. You had no expertise. You know what I mean? You brought a whole bunch of felons around and you ran off with a whole bunch of people's money. Good job. Hopefully you don't get caught by the feds. But anyways, let's move forward, right? So that was exposed a couple of days ago. Now there was another entity that you could call that was really vouching for Karmelo Anthony, and they were one of the people who actually messaged the school and tried to push their weight around to get Karmelo Anthony to graduate. Now remember, Karmelo Anthony graduated. It goes Austin Metcalf gets killed, he's dead now, and then Karmelo graduates. That's how the timeline goes, right? So you see how outrageous that sounds. So that entity named Arthur Watkins Jr. on Twitter, everybody knows the account by this point, they speak out after seeing the information about Dominique Alexander, because remember, these two, they're probably like this back in the day. Back in the day when they were really fighting to get Karmelo Anthony to graduate, they were like this. So now when they're finding out that they're attached to felons, they're trying to distance themselves. Let's check this out. Arthur Watkins responds and quote tweets what Sarah Fields said, right? So she's exposing Dominique Alexander with the receipts from DPS. He says, interesting. We support Karmelo, but we do not support this from Dominique. We reached out to their organization last year and received no response for collaboration. So the American Freedom Legal Fund did what it had to do to protect Karmelo. And I feel like this is not true. Hey, I don't have the receipts on his end, so I guess we're going to have to take his word for it. You and Dominique Alexander, in my opinion, we're working together to get him released. This is not news to you. You knew this guy was a fraudulent piece of shit. You knew. There's no way in hell, and this is why I believe they knew. Let me show you something else. So Dominique always takes credit for anything that takes place, even if he did it or not. And I do believe that the other organization that's always chirping on Twitter were the ones who actually got him to graduate. But the reason I believe they know each other exists is because Dominique once again took the credit for him graduating. He's the one who went to the news, and he's the one who explained to everybody in the world. And I could only assume that they let him do that because he had the bigger platform. That's all I could assume. So let me show you. This was an article that was posted a while ago. It says, and this is Dominique speaking, "We are proud to share that Karmelo Anthony will graduate and receive his high school diploma and that his academic achievement will not be disrupted," Minister Dominique Alexander, NGAN president, said per CBS News Texas and CBS 5 DFW. "This is a moment of dignity for Karmelo and a reminder of the power of advocacy done right." Sir, you didn't even do anything to get that boy to graduate. So anyways, we have Arthur Watkins Jr., the other account who I believe actually put in some work trying to denounce their communication with Dominique Alexander altogether until Sarah Fields comes back around. So apparently Sarah Fields noticed that they were on the internet trying to just denounce any type of relationship with Dominique Alexander, but at the same time, they raised their head enough for her to target them. And it seems like nobody's unscathed because, as we assumed, as we've seen in the past, when the race tensions got high, Frisco ISD absolutely folded. The second there was a little bit of race tension, they just complied to everything. So this is what Sarah Fields said. "What did you do to protect Karmelo? We are the ones who filed the complaint with DPS. I'll tell everyone what you did. You intimidated and pressured Frisco ISD along with Next Generation Action Network into allowing Karmelo Anthony to graduate instead of being appropriately expelled for placing a knife into a fellow student's heart." Or I guess a cleat sharpener. It was a cleat sharpener. Who gives a fuck if it was a box cutter? It was a sharp piece of metal that go pokey. Like, what are we talking about? Anyways, listen, if Sarah Fields is saying that, that means there's receipts behind it. And the way this account, I forgot the name. I always forget the name. Arthur Watkins Jr. That's the account, right? The way this account rushed to Twitter to try and clarify that they don't have anything to do with Dominique Alexander should indicate that they probably have some fraudulent shit going on in their organizations as well. Keep an eye on them. I'm telling you, bro, they're raising their hands to get smacked right back down. But let's continue. This is the letter that they originally had sent. Let's check this out. It says, "Dear Frisco ISD leadership and board of trustees, please find attached a formal letter from the American Freedom Legal Fund." Wonderful name. American Freedom Legal Fund. Please for $1. Basically the begging committee. That's the name of your shit is called anyways. Please find attached a formal letter from the American Freedom Legal Fund regarding the proposed expulsion of student Karmelo Anthony. This communication outlines serious legal concerns related to due process, racial equality, equity, and the presumption of innocence. The Freedom Legal Fund is monitoring this matter closely and requests written confirmation that disciplinary proceedings will be paused until proper procedure and legal protections are ensured. Should you have any questions or require further information, I am available by email at Watkins at blah, 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 blah. Respectfully, Arthur Watkins. Now, the language used, it's not threatening, but it's kind of warning. And I feel like that's what the school started buckling and shaking and shackling over. Like some, you know what I mean? The language they used, in my opinion, is when they said the Freedom Legal Fund is monitoring this matter closely and requests written confirmation, blah, blah, blah. We're monitoring. We're going to send off the alarms all over Twitter. They also said words like racial equity, due process. These are buzzwords that no organization, school, organization, whatever, those are words that nobody wants to hear running a business or a situation. You know what I mean? So anyway, she posted that, and this is why I feel like this guy's a clout chaser and he's not here to actually help Karmelo Anthony, because she posted that, kind of exposing him for working with Dominique, and he responds in the most ridiculous way, trying to get clicks and views. Because he goes and he responds back to her and he says, "Unverified and verified freedom have never had an institution to fight for them." I don't know what he means by that, but I'm assuming he's saying, black people never had a strong institution to fight for them, so he will. "Before this, you all had a full reign over our population." Oh, slavery. He's talking about okay. "Before this, you had a full reign over our population," or maybe even after slavery. "We will make you work for it. By the way, if you want to really compete, unblock the American Freedom Legal Fund and compete like a real American. We will keep it respectful." Motherfucker, nobody's trying to compete with you. It's either you support the kid or you don't. What are you talking about competing? Why are we competing? You know who needs to compete? The lawyers. What are we competing over? Maybe a discussion or something. No, when he said, let's compete, he wants that back and forth because Sarah Fields has, let's check. Because Sarah Fields has 419,000 followers. Meanwhile, Arthur has 16.8 thousand followers. You see the difference in clout, right? He's looking for some clout, bro. He don't care about that boy. He never did. He wanted some clicks and views. And if you really want some clicks and views, don't parade yourself around like some big activist. Just be entertaining and earn the clicks and views, gang. But no, everybody has to grift. Everybody has to do it the easy way. And, they're getting exposed. But you guys let me know what you think. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more information leading up closer to the trial. I don't even think he's going to go to trial in the next, 79, 78 days. They're probably going to postpone it. But officially, that's what it is for now. I'll see you guys soon. Stay inside, stay safe. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the hype button. I'll see y'all real soon. Peace.